Hello everyone, this is Diane. I'm going to do some more work on organizing my fabric containers. These two big bins, I know they're very close to the camera, and we won't be working in these because I did these on my own. Let me just show you what I have in them. These are my canvas containers that go in the cubes. So in this one, I have, I'm gonna pull some stuff out here. Down in the bottom, I have tapestry, upholstery fabrics. And then I have some burlap, and most of this is vintage. And my sheets. I love the vintage sheets, so I have quite a lot of that. And on top, I just have these smaller pieces that I'm probably not going to use as a cover or anything. So I just put them on top. And in the other one, I have patchwork and quilts. So on top are the pieces that are patches but not quilted. They don't have the padding. So some of these are vintage squares, and I got these early in the spring. These pieces, and there's some bigger ones. I love the vintage ones like this. So I have, you know, quite a few. And then some newer pieces. And, you know, older ones again. And then these are, this is a bigger piece. Like it was a full quilt top. It was not old. It's vintage, I think, but it's not terribly old, and it wasn't like very extremely well executed. It's probably done better than I would do, but it had puckers, but I really like it. I love the colors, and I will use this. So it's got the pieces that don't have the batting, and they sit on top. And underneath are the pieces that do have batting. Whoops, lost the container on the floor. So this is the age of my son, because this was his baby quilt. This was a newer piece. It had all these strips on it. And that piece is, they're just solid. They're purchased, but I could use them. And upholstery samples. And then some vintage quilts. Some of these I got from Selena at Amour Fabriques in some bundles that she put together. And some of them I got at flea markets. I remember getting this one at a flea market. That was such a thrill, because those are nice pieces. So that goes on top. And I have enough, you know, and the batting thickens them up, so there's enough in here that it's nothing more than patchwork in there. And these are the smaller pieces. Oh, and there's a little bit of Kantha quilt. So these are just pieces that I can use to make pockets or small things that I put right on top. So that is those. They are done and sorted. And then just now, as I'm pulling out my little baskets, oh, I forgot to say, there was an extra tote that didn't fit into the cubby. So that had all the quilt pieces in it. So I pulled out some fabrics from most of the totes that I was sorting. I pulled some out that I will destash. And some of it was quilted stuff. So I had room to kind of combine some of the totes. but these got displaced, and these are my smaller leather pieces. You saw the bigger pieces that are just on the bottom of one of the cubbies, and there's one of these baskets sitting on top, or a bigger basket than that, but sitting on top of the leather. These are little pieces, and I had them in one of those totes. So I'm going to find another place for them. Hang on just a second. I've got something already. I just remembered. When I was reorganizing my closet, I got rid of some of a unit that wasn't working, and I put in the wooden crates that you put on their side, and then you can use them like a bookshelf. And I filled it up with containers, and I put in some containers because I measured and knew what would fit, and I put in some containers that I didn't know what was going to go in them yet. And look at that. Well, I don't want to bend up the edges of these. These were sample leather samples, so you can see where by the holes that they were attached together with a big thick chain. I still have the chain, and I sold a lot of the pieces, but I kept some. So I really want to, I'm going to make a list of things that I want to work on using this year, and leather is one of them. Even just little bits of leather to accent things. But I'd also like to use them for leather covers. Look at those. They're so cool. Well, I gotta put these in first. I have used some of it, but I really need to get going on using more because I love it. So this tote is perfect for these. That makes me happy. I'm coming back. I have two of those little these little containers that sit stacked on top of each other. So in this one is some rolled up like sari strips, different kinds of silk strips. So that will go with the leather, next to the leather, on top of it. Okay, and I still have this container that I haven't really thought about what to put in these containers because I wasn't organizing the closet yet. But I think I had to buy this separately. So I have this tote and then this tray that will fit on top. And I may be able to put this stuff in there, and I would be able to find stuff. Let's try it. This isn't what I intended to do in today's video, but it would be exciting for me to actually use these containers that are in there. So these are, what are they called? I can't stand them up like that unless I don't use the tray. Braid trims, and they're vintage. So I can lay them down. Let's see what I can put in here first. I've got these pretty pieces, a little more delicate. Well, these came from Switzerland, so I try to be real careful with them. They were sent to me by Eve. I can put that little piece in there. Got some pom-pom trims. These were vintage ones that I just got recently. They were in, well, I got them in my one of my last flea market hauls. They're just small pieces. So I guess just these small cards I'll try to fit in here. And maybe some I can take off the cards and just roll up into these containers. take these off the card. And I'll just roll it up. I hope you can see I'm standing up. My voice is probably too loud because I'm right next to the phone. So I'm sorry if I was shouting in your ear. Oh, this is in little pieces anyway. Okay, now let's see how these all fit into here. Wonder if I cut the cards down, I wonder how narrow they'd have to be able to fit them in there. I don't know. Oh, here's another little one. That will fit right in there. Don't know if these will all fit because they get pretty thick. This maybe can stand up on its side. And this one, there's a lot there. I'm going to take this off the card because, well, these are delicate fringes, so I'm going to move them to the top. Just lay them right in there. Just pull that right off the card and stick it in there. Oh, that won't fit like that. I'll lay that down there. There. I don't know, this might be getting too big. Let's see. It might fit. Let's see if I can snap the lid on. Without breaking anything. No, that lid doesn't want to fit. So, I'll move that over there, see if that helps. No, it's fatter over there. Okay, something's going to have to come out of here. This is very bulky, like that one. Ta-da! And that goes in one of my crates. And then these two sit side by side on top of it, and they fit in there perfectly. Okay, that's done. Now, so now I have this. And that will help because while I was pulling out these other little baskets that I wanted to do, I remembered, because I discovered that I had stuffed all these pieces of quilt just into one of the milk crates, the wooden crates. And I didn't know that if I could sell these pieces. So I cut them up and then I thought, I don't know if I want to bother listing them. So I just stuffed them in the crates. So I can put them all in here now. And I know there's a place for them, for this basket. But this is more than I need. So These may end up going in my shop. And this piece. Okay, that was quick. Now, this is what I really wanted to do today, and that is these little baskets, and these also sit in the wooden crates. So these are just these, they look like woven, but they're plastic, and I get them at Walmart. And I have like specialty types of fabrics in them. So this one, I believe, is shears. Yeah, it's got some tulle. I got a lot of tulle because I bought a big roll of it at a flea market a couple years ago. And this is a soft vintage tulle. I don't even know if it's called a tulle. It's a netting. It's not stiff at all. And here's another piece. This was part of a baby gown. So those are vintage pieces. I think I'll put those on top. And then this is a blue tulle and a more fine white tulle than the other. Here's another soft green. This one has little embroidered elements on it. Purple, probably won't ever use the purple. I'm just going to take that right out. Pink and black. So this is all tulle and netting. This is an underskirt or a slip that I got at the flea market. I've used pieces of it, but I'm keeping it in here with the tulle. And there's this one. I just used this piece recently in a journal. I've had it for a while. So I think that's all of the tulle and netting. If I come across any more, I'll just add it to that basket. This one, I think, is lace fabric. So it's like, it's yardage, not trims. It's a fabric piece that you could cut and lay over a bodice or a sleeve or something. This is a table piece, and it's got holes in it really bad, but I can use parts of it. It's really pretty. Here's a vintage piece. Very delicate. A vintage piece of yellow, and there's some brown. This is another, this might have been a valance. Yeah, it's got the heading up here. Vintage valance with those fillet pieces. More vintage, delicate stuff. Love this stuff. And some not quite so vintage. Pink and blue. Look at that. That's pretty. So I get this out when I want to do something lacy. This is a sheer. That'll go in a different container. More laces. You notice I'm not destashing any of these. I had already destashed a bunch a while ago, and I haven't really added much to it except for shears. I added some shears recently, which we'll look at in a minute. And then these are, I got a bunch of these like in a whole bag full of linens and stuff, and they were white. So I dyed them with fabric dye. So this is dyed purple. And I think it was blue. The color that, the shade that I used was a blue, but it turned out purple. So I'm going to destash that. Got that peachy orange and this pretty yellow. And that is the lace. Yeah, that's a sheer. Okay, now this one is cotton lace, so kind of like an eyelet, but fabric. That's a nice wide yellow. This was in big tiers on something, so this was on top of that. It was like this 3-tiered skirt or something, and it was vintage, but I like the yellow color. There's that one. This one is an all-over eyelet pattern. This one is Battenberg, but it's a cotton lace, so I'm putting it in here. And this one. So this one isn't very full. Doesn't mean I need to add more. It means that if I have to stack baskets, which I think I may have to, I can stack this lace on top of the cotton lace, and it'll stack nicely and fit in the crate. All right, let's look at the sheer fabrics, because these are ones that I just added at the end of my hunting season, my flea market season, but this was at a yard sale, and I kept a whole bunch of them. I put some in my shop and sold a bunch, and I think I still have one bundle that contains these 3 fabrics, if you're interested. So I want to look at these and see if there's any I can get rid of. These are sheer fabrics. So these have old tags on them. They're not used for what they were. So I'm just removing the tags, and then I have new ones that aren't written on yet, but I could just flip that over and write what's in there and tie it back on. That's a vintage piece. This isn't sheer, but it's silky. So I guess this is sheer and silky fabrics, because that looks like a silk, like a silk sangtung or something like that. Really, really nice. I love that. And there's a pink satin. And this black embroidered piece. Sheer, and this one is sheer with beautiful embroidery on it. Look at that, how pretty. There's a chartreuse green one. This one has a print and some flocking on it. I've used some of it. And somebody sent me a cut-up Indian dress. This was part of that. It had so many beautiful elements to that. And I've used some of them. This is a printed sheer. And this is interesting. I think I may have gotten this at Salvation Army. It was a big curtain. Haven't gotten rid of anything yet, have I? But this one has a little bit of embroidery on it. The basket contains it all, so I don't need to get rid of anything if I don't want to. There's another one with embroidered flowers on it. Oh, I thought that was the edge. It's got a hole in it. I think it's got some stains. There's a pretty blue and another blue and a white. Add this onto the top. And that basket, oh no, I said this basket contains it all, but it doesn't, because I have all of these. So I don't know if I should put this in the sheer fabric. It is see-through, but it's not the silky or satiny kind of sheer. It's a cotton. So I think I'll put this with my cotton fabrics, because this container is full. And I can put this in there, And I can put one piece of this in there. And then I don't want to get rid of these. So I will just store these. Like these are big pieces, but I think I'll, oh, and I have this. I just got this from Amazon. It's a white netting with flocked polka dots on it, and that could go in the netting basket. But yeah, I think I will put that in the netting basket. Netting and, what did I say, tulle. Anyway, I really like this, and I think I'll use it. So I'm just going to store these in the crate, but not in that, if I have room to tuck them in to the side of something. And I'll have them for when I use it, then I can replace it in there. So this is full. I'm going to tuck that in there and sit on top of another. If it has to sit on top of one, this will be on the top. All right, one more basket. I'm doing pretty well. This one might take a little longer. This is my embroidered pieces, and it's the small pieces, the cut off pieces, not the big linens. So my linens and chenille pieces are in another area altogether. So much to sort, but I have sorted through these multiple times, so I don't know that I'll be getting rid of any of these embroidered pieces. I just want to make sure everything is in the place where it belongs. And I just need to remember to get these out and use them. My mother made these. This was on a baby quilt. I think it had animals in the center, and then these little flowers all around. And it was pretty stained because her grandchildren used it. I need to frame this. This is not supposed to be in there where it can be cut up, because my mother did this too. So I guess I'm going to make a pillow out of this. Yeah, I'll put that where I can. I'll have to buy a pillow form and make a pillow out of it. My sister is a beautiful seamstress, and she does a wonderful job making pillows, and she's made some with Mom's embroidery and crewel work. And she gives some to my mom when she's done, but my mom just gave them back to us because they were stuck in her closet, because they downsized before I did. And so she doesn't have room for little decorator pillows, and I don't really. Just lots of little pieces. I guess this isn't going to take long because I'm not really disposing of anything. Just making sure it's all in there neatly. Quite a bit of pieces from that baby quilt. So these are edgings from another embroidered piece that two different ones that I already cut up and used, but I still liked the edging. Love that. The dimensional flowers there. I found a couple things that don't belong in there. That It's not embroidery. That's an apron pocket. There. And these will go someplace else. Is that everything? Yep, that's everything I got out to sort through today. And we did that pretty quickly. I'm amazed. All right, so that's the fabric sorting for today. Let me know if you have any questions about things I'm talking about. I don't know if I've been clear, but you will get to see the closet when I'm done organizing in here. I'm kind of making some progress this week because I'm not working on a journal, because I made those blue book covers and I haven't even started cutting pages for them yet. So I have 5 baskets ready to go back in the crates. And then we'll see what else needs to be done in that closet. Thanks so much for coming along with me today. Are you organizing? Like, I know January is a good year for organizing and destashing and stuff. I'm just getting a little bit of a head start. So I don't know if you're ready to be doing that yet, or if I'm inspiring you to get going on that in January. But I'm enjoying the process. It helps me remember things that I already have and remove things that I think I won't use. I hope that you're having a creative day today, and I'll see you soon. Bye.